In a world where the news cycle spins faster than the clock, stories break by the minute, reshaping how we think, feel, and move. And that's why starting your day with the headlines before opinions twist them and social media distort them is not just helpful, it is very powerful. Now, keeping up isn't always easy. The stories may not always sit well on the heart. Some of them sting, some even frustrate. But as long as we carry the green passport and even call Nigeria our home, staying informed remains our best shot at making smarter choices and holding, the power accountable. Welcome to Perspectives Unlimited on 89.3 FM, Wells Radio, where we don't just, read the news, we interpret it, we question it, and connect dots that matters. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Good morning to you and welcome to the program. From our studio, if you check your time, from our studio right here, it is 6:33 a.m. today, Monday, the 23rd of June 2025. I believe it should be at exactly the same time at your end. Maybe a minute faster, or yours may be faster. That reminds us that if you're setting out, make it very fast. Today is Monday, so we need to get to work as fast as we can. Punctuality is the soul of business. Welcome to the show. On the program this morning, we have The Punch, the Nigerian Tribune, and the Guardian newspaper. We go through the front pages, and right after that, we dive straight into in-depth analysis as Chukwemeka Munachiso is right in the studio to help us make sense of them all. Let's start from the Punch newspaper. Just one story here on the Punch, or two of them actually. The first story on page 2, pastoral crisis. 11 states embrace federal government ranching plan as killing surge. Govs offer land, Adamawa Bayelsa. Others caution farmers reject open grazing. That story is on page 2. On page 35 of the Punch, Iran-Israel petrol may hit 1,000 naira per litre as oil prices soar. On page 35. Let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune for today. On page 22, Senate begins nationwide public hearing on constitution review. On page 22. And on page 22 still, the same page, 2027 controversy trails application to register ADA. The writer says no decision yet on party adoption, says Atiku. Another says ADC national chairman disown ADA, says coalition platform may be unveiled later this week. Now let's move on to the Guardian newspaper for today. On page 4, ECOWAS bio to champion democracy, security, and regional reforms. On page 4. On the same page, APC silent as PDP dismisses formation of ADC or ADA. On page 9, Lamido differs with Yam over Tinubu's role in June 12 annulment. Israel-Iran war, hope for Nigeria's troubled fiscal outlook as oil prices head to $80. On page 6, we can see the infographics here. Iran-Israel tension shake market. Oil and energy crude surges by $14. Previous metal and safe haven currencies. Gold prices jump. And also liquidities. Global stocks also tumble just as a result of that war. An analyst adjusted short-time price target for Brent to $90, warning that the Middle East conflict could briefly cut 1.75 million barrels per day of Iranian oil. Let's go to page 7. Sanwo-Olu to meet APC stakeholders ahead of local government polls. And cloud burst Ogun. Government urges calm as lightning kill 32 cows on page 7. And on page 6, Obi Atiku decry rising insecurity as Tinubu Northern Gulf condemn killings. On page 12, insecurity escalates in Yenagua. Judge abducted man confesses to killing toddler. On page 5, Nigeria losing $500 million yearly to abandoned container at port, SERCE, once, on page 5. And that's all we can take from the front pages. We read from the Punch newspaper to the Nigerian Tribune and to the Guardian newspaper. Once again, you're welcome to the program Perspectives Unlimited. Watch us live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook. That's the alternative platform where you can share your perspective with us on the program today. You can share your thought. You can like the video. And most importantly, please share the video so we can reach a wider audience. When it's time, the studio line will definitely be reeled out for you to call the radio station to share your own thought and perspectives. Welcome to the show. Chukwemeka, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning to you. And how was your weekend?
It was fine, by the grace of God. It was a good one, and with the rain.
Yes, rain is here.
Yeah.
And so unpredictable at the moment.
Very, very unpredictable.
I mean, yesterday it rained 1 minute, the rain
The
all
sun
over the
came
place,
later.
and then just about 5 minutes thereafter, the sun came out again. And, I'm just thinking how many tiger or lion are giving birth. Just like that popular myth.
Yes, that's the wonders of our God, and the blessing of nature. We need the rain. We need the environment to be cool. And we need it for farming.
Yes, for farming. I noticed something. So usually I'm not a fan of corn or maize. That's because when I eat it, I kind of go down with flu. So I usually avoid it. But this season, I think I've taken it not more than 3 times. And I noticed something about, all of the, corn I've been eating.
Okay.
It's not even, especially with the growth. The maize around the body, it's scattered.
The cob,
I know the cob rather. Yorubas have a name for it. And, I just wonder. And I bought them at different places, and I'm just wondering.
No, this year
why
actually,
is it like this?
unless the first planting of maize was not good, many people did not harvest anything good. You understand?
So this seemed to be like a general.
Yes, it's a general thing. And moreover, caterpillar came and destroyed a lot of things. So people, especially maize, most of if you go to farm, you see a lot of leaves eaten up by this caterpillar. People were using insecticide to fumigate them, but some people don't like that insecticide because we don't know what the residue on the crops. Well, so that's why maize didn't do well, and that's why it is very expensive. You see one cob, they tell you 300 naira, 250, 400.
Yeah.
You see,
And even one that didn't do well, 500.
Yes, 500. So you see, and the stunted growth, we also experienced stunted growth. But I believe the second planting may not be like that if the rain is consistent.
Let's hope so. I mean, for corn lovers, this is me speaking your language, so that it will also pay you when you buy it for like 400 naira, and then you can enjoy, rather than the stunted growth and you're wondering, what did I buy? All right, let's start with the Israel and Iran. I know you're on top of the foreign beats, and I would want you to help us translate how this, affect us as a nation. This is the case all the time. When you talk about crises in other nations of the world, especially, war and the likes. I remember Ukraine and Russia. And at some point, I think 2 or 3 years ago, even this same maize or corn at the time, when you start asking, why is this thing expensive? They tell you there is war in Ukraine and Russia. And you're wondering, come on, did you plant this in Ukraine and then Russia? Nigerians find it very hard to connect what's happening in other nations, especially the developed ones, and how it affects a third world nation like ours. Petrol may hit 1,000 naira per liter as oil price, jump. Now the global crude prices may cross $80 per barrel this week following the major escalation in tensions between the United States and Iran, with the oil market reacting sharply to reports of coordinated U.S.-Israel airstrike to key Iranian nuclear facilities. This came as marketers of petroleum products said petrol may soon rise to 1,000 naira per litre due to the rising crude prices and the volatility in the foreign exchange market. The development follows a defensive strike overnight attack launched by the United States on 3 of Iran major nuclear sites. The strike, as announced by the President Donald Trump, obliterated Tehran's critical nuclear infrastructure, joining an Israel assault in an escalation of conflict in the Middle East as vowed to defend itself. Iran is OPEC's third crude provider. Chukwemeka, break it down for us.
Yeah.
In layman language.
See,
What's that business with Israel and Iran?
Yeah, there is a lot.
Can this translate?
There is a lot we share together because of our shared humanity, and because there is a interconnectivity among the nations. Iran is the third oil exporter in the world, but unfortunately, Iran is using our resources for other nefarious means. The Iranians are not even enjoying the proceeds of their oil wealth. Instead, Iran uses it to promote proxies with its so-called ring of fire around Israel. And this war has been in planning for a very long time. U.S. entering into the conflict has a lot of implications, and also for oil for the world and also for Iran, because Iran now is controls the Strait of Hormuz, where most of the shipping companies ships pass through with their oil consignment to the rest of the world, and most Arab states will pass through that Hormuz. And Iran is threatening that they will mine that strait. They will mine it so that no ship will be able to pass. And that is bringing a wider conflict between Iran and United States of America. Because Iran, despite the losses, appear not to have learned a lesson about it. Because people are saying that, China will intervene, that Russia will intervene, and everything. I tell them, I say, look, Russia will not intervene. You don't seem to understand diplomacy. You understand? Russia is battling with Ukraine. Russia economy is down. Iran gave Russia drones to fight Ukraine. Russia went to North Korea and some other countries to enlist soldiers to come and fight on their behalf. So if Russia is having all these problems on its hands, how do you think Russia will intervene? Russia's relationship with Iran is just on the basis of economy, the oil. Now, China itself, the relationship with between Iran and China is also based on economy and not on any other thing apart from economy and selling your this to Iran. And China also has problem with Taiwan, which he has been warning America not to intervene. And China is working, is looking at America's reaction to what Iran is doing. So China will not like to get involved in anything that has to do with Iran. Don't forget that before the strike, Russia warned Ali Khamenei, discuss with America to avoid Israel, not to escalate. Iran did not listen. This Saudi Arabia also told Iran, look, go to the negotiating table with US to avoid strike by Israel. Iran did not listen. Now it has happened. So what Iran is threatening right now, after they dropped the bomb on Fordo and other nuclear sites, is that they will blockade the Strait of Hormuz, where most ships pass through, which is not going to augur well for Iran. Now, people are saying, why should America intervene? Iran has destruction of Israel on its flag. That inscription on its flag is a call for destruction of Israel. Iran is not the only country that has nuclear power. Pakistan has it, but Pakistan has never threatened any nation. That is why the world is so jittery that Iran should have nuclear weapon, because a nuclear weapon in the hand of Iran is a threat to the whole of humanity. It's not the only, but because they are chanting every day, death to America, death to Israel, and you know, when you are saying all these things and you are enriching uranium to a level that is beyond peaceful application, do you expect these countries to fold their hands and be watching you? It's not possible. So, coming to economy, yes, the oil price will rise for some time, but it will still come down. It will still normalize, because Iran has been decapitated and there's nothing they can do. And moreover, the Gulf states will never be in support of Iran to blockade that Strait of Hormuz, because that is where they too allow their that is the state where they too export their own oil to make money. They won't allow that.
That's a lot. Now, concerned by this trend, energy analysts on Sunday warned that the surge in global oil prices could push the pump price of premium motor spirit petrol in Nigeria to as high as 1,000 naira per liter in the coming weeks. Should the Brent crude jump to $80 per barrel. Now you can trust Nigeria. The chief executive officer of Petroleum Price NG, Olatide Jeremiah, said private depots are already gearing up to effect a hike.
They will like that news very well.
Cost, and that's why I said you can always trust Nigeria.
That's the kind of news we like here.
The private depots are likely to increase the petrol price to 1,000 naira in the coming days, with the current trend observed in the market. And if by tomorrow morning crude price increases to $80 or exceed the threshold, Nigerians would pay 1,000 naira, 1,000 naira at depots, and this is not even the end price. They lift it at the depot at 8,000 naira, and by the time Nigerians are buying, you're either buying at 8,200, if not more.
That's for the southwest.
That's for the southwest.
Because if you go to the southeast and the north, the prices are not the same. You see, these things will have ripple effect across the globe. But I'm telling you here that it's not going to escalate. The prices will not continue. Yes, because most Arab states pass through that Strait of Hormuz, and they won't allow that.
They won't allow it.
And Iran is biting more than it can chew. That's why the G7, the Canada, France, Britain, and all of them are still asking Iran go to the negotiating table. Because if you have not been all the rhetorics, debt to this one, you are chanting this and that, and you are enriching uranium. You are about to acquire it. So no nation, no responsible country will allow you to have such a thing when you are already making a pronouncement that this country will be wiped off the face of the map. And many people don't even understand. Some people, some uninformed and misinformed people believe that Israel, that is a fight between Muslim and Christians. No, look, there are more Christians in Iran than even in Israel. Israel is just a place where they have a lot of Christian background. Most of the things that happen in the Bible took place in Israel, but they're not Christians. It's a country of Judaism, and Christians are even they spit on Christians in Israel. But people don't understand it. Some uninformed people believe that it's not. Iran has more Christians than even Israel itself. So it's not a religious war. It's not. It's a war though Israel is facing an existential threat. When you are threatening a country that will wipe them off, they can't fold their hands and be watching you. They are not like Nigeria, where anything goes. If foreigners will come in here, massacre people, we go and make the usual noise. We bring them to book. Look at what happened in Jos, as in Plateau. People traveling from Kaduna to a wedding, all of them as a massacre. Can it be happen? How can this thing be happening in a country that is normal?
All right, let's move away from that foreign beat there. And when we come back after the break at 7, we open the phone lines. And so we can also hear from people at home, their own perspective. If that eventually happens, just like you said, that it won't, to Nigerians. And this is where, it should bother all of us. If they are lifting at 1,000 naira, then how much are you going to buy? If you remember, on Friday, Dangote Refinery jacked up the petrol price from 825 naira per liter to already 880 naira. And, the MRS Oil Nigeria and other filling stations selling Dangote petrol raised their pump price from to an average of 995 naira per liter in the southeast and in the northwest. So this is already knocking. News correspondent on Sunday also observed that other filling stations have also hiked their prices to between 930 naira to 960 naira, depending on the location. Lagos has the cheapest rate as MRS and other Dangote partners sold petrol at 925 naira per litre on Sunday.
Because of proximity.
Exactly. You know, so I don't know whether we say we pray because at this point we know the effect of the current reality as the price of petrol on everything in Nigeria, cost of transportation, feeding, not to talk about, you know, the issues coming up north where, I mean, the food basket of the nation is currently in distress, amongst so many other issues. So imagine if that is now jumping
again
to above 1,000 naira, then it's going to be a lot, you know, for us as a nation. Let's go to the major story on the Punch for today. 11 states embrace federal government ranching plan as killing surge. 11 states are taking steps to commence ranching as a way to address the age-long violent clashes between herders and farmers, which have claimed several lives. While some states have allocated lands for ranching, many others have pledged lands, and a few are developing policies that will guide the initiative as a viable business venture. The states are ready to commence ranching at Lagos, Plateau, Ondo, Zamfara, Bauchi, Delta, Niger, Kano, Jigawa, Nasarawa, and Anambra states. The development comes among the urgent killing, or the surge in killing, I beg your pardon, in Plateau and in Benue communities linked to herders. Last week, over 200 people, were murdered in Benue State. The president attributed the incident to land grabbing and vowed to go after the perpetrators. He also established a committee of elders comprising the former governors and 2 prominent traditional rulers in the state to promote peace in the state. He directed the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoku, and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, to immediately arrest the alleged killers and headers. The permanent secretary at the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food System, Emmanuel-Ojo, said the state had been deploying or developing its ranching system and was open to collaborate with the federal government and other interested, stakeholders. 11 states set to embrace ranching plan, amidst all of this, incident and killings here and there. Lagos is ready, Plateau, Zamfara, Bauchi, Delta, Niger, Kano, Jigawa, Nasarawa, and Anambra State. And if you ask me, Chukwemeka, I just expect to see all the 36 states of the nation, on this list.
No.
Not even after all that played out in Plateau and in Benue State.
Ayo, I
in
disagree.
the last weeks, yeah.
The 36 states should not. Branching, cattle rearing is a personal business. If you want to establish ranching, you do it as an individual who is into cattle rearing. I expect all the northern states to buy into that because they have the land. Buhari described the southeast as a dot in the circle. And you still want people in the dot in the circle to donate land to you? How will Soludo is dabbling into something that may cost him his re-election. Just mark it. I'm from Anambra State. I don't think Anambra people will allow as Soludo to donate a land for ranching. If it is a personal business of the headers, let them go and buy land. If the states want to give, because the federal government is saying donation. Donation means you willingly give. Who are those that will be in the ranching? Are they not the headers? And we know these people ideology, how they see things. That when you come in peacefully, it's not going to end peacefully. Honestly speaking, but people have a proverb that to give a cup of water to a monkey is very, very easy. But who will go and collect the cup? Is it not another Ruga in this guys again? Why should people's personal business be a federal government concern? Government should go after the killers and make them. This policy of appeasement is what I hate in Nigeria. Sense of entitlement. Can people who sell spare parts go to the north and say, okay, can government come out and say, give donate land for spare parts, people that are selling spare parts? You come to a place, you look at the place, you invest, you buy land, you start your business. People will come and patronize you. Not federal government getting involved. They have already created a ministry of livestock and everything. Is that not enough? And now you are asking states, and because of some governors that want to be politically correct, they will donate their people's land to the federal government and bringing these people to stay in your land. You know what it means? I know what I'm saying because it happened in Taraba. People came in and said they want to establish. You gave them land. At the end of the day, they started telling you, we don't like pig. Our religion forbids pig rearing. But you saw them that they were rearing pig before you came in. Why did you agree to stay with them? So this is another ruga in disguise, which I think it will not work. Most states, if you have money to buy land, go and buy land. That's the way it is done. If government wants to start a ministry or industry or for ranch, let government let it be forgot, not asking people to donate land. I know people will say because people are being killed, because the state is weak.
And that's where I'm going to.
Because the state is weak, because Nigeria has failed to defend its citizens.
And that's where I'm going to.
Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah.
People that they told us that they are not Nigerians. So they will come here, you give them land. Governor of Benue State they said they are not Nigerians. The military said they are not Nigerians. So they will come here because they kill people, you give them land.
Okay,
what's the meaning of that?
Your point now is, rather than, because I would have said with the killings that we're experiencing,
if that killing is the reason,
ensure that the cattle are not just moving around. I saw a video. I saw a video yesterday.
That killing is a statement they are making to weaken Nigeria and make Nigeria do something to their own good. It's not done. The state should be the one that will dictate the terms, not them. Because we kill people, we give you land.
So on the basis of the statement made by the military, say the governor of Benue State, if we then eventually create a ranch, for instance, that means we're moving non-Nigerians
into the ranch. That's what I'm saying. And the expansionist belief of these people is what I fear most. They don't come to... Now, have you ever heard that Igbos in Yoruba land wake up and begin to claim land? They don't. If you want to buy land, you look for the owner of the land, process the papers, buy it, acquire the land. That's why they say anywhere you enter, you don't see an Igbo man, run away. Because he adds value to anywhere he goes. These people, which value are they adding? You want to bring ranching in a community where we know these people are wild and they can wake up tomorrow and begin to tell the Bale, this thing it doesn't belong to you. No. Because that's killing is what government should address, and let them know that they cannot be killing people because they want land. It's not done.
Let's look at the open, anti-open grazing law that most states, have passed. I know your state, has that, Anambra State, and some other states in Nigeria. When you pass an open grazing law, obviously that then tells you that when you rear cattle, you should put them in a confined space that you own by yourself. But in a situation where we constantly see that this law, unfortunately do not hold water, which should not be, because the state should be able to enforce law, what would you advise the government to? The
government should deal with them decisively. That is the way it should be done. Nigerian government is weak and has been weakened by corruption, weakened by giving people a sense of entitlement that whatever they demand you give them. It's not done. Many people are into so many businesses. Some ethnic groups associated with just like Obama Shore people. They are in my village. They are in my town. I have not seen, they have houses there. I've never seen them wake up one day and say, hey, you give us this one. Otherwise, no, you don't do that.
All right, Chukwemeka, let's take a break quickly. When we come back right after the break, we look at the flip side of this conversation, and we also bring you in to share your own view on that particular headline this morning. It's still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Please stay with us.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Give your child the gift of excellence at Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Are you searching for a school where top quality education meets care, love, and safety? A school where skilled professionals ignite young minds in an environment that stimulates learning, creativity, and moral growth? Do you desire a school that offers rich academic curricula designed to prepare your child for local and international examinations, opening doors to future success both within and outside Nigeria? At Juniors International School, we don't just educate, we discover and nurture each child's unique aptitude while molding them into highly productive global citizens driven by godly principles. Join us on the journey of raising tomorrow's leaders. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Friday, 1st August 2025. Venue: Juniors International International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. Watch us live on Facebook, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, and on YouTube, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Stream us live from anywhere in the world on our website and also on Radio Garden, a website, wellsradio893.com, and on Radio Garden, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Join the conversation this morning, 0916 893 1000, 0915 334 893, and also 0911 3333-893. I take that again, 0911 3333 893. Join the conversation this morning. Let's get your view and your perspective. You know, as regards the grazing story, 11 states to embrace, federal government ranching plan amidst all the killing that we're experiencing in the nation today, and also in Nigeria. All right, looking at this story here, the Ondo State government said even though it had not entered into partnership with the federal government on ranching, it had been running ranches in the state. Our special assistant to the governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, on agribusiness, Akinshola Wemimo, said the federal government had not requested for land from the state, which banned open grazing in 2020 following the passage of the grazing law by the administration of the late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Wemimo stated, "We have two ranches. One belongs to Odua Investment Company and one belongs to the state. Those are the ranches we are dealing with. We didn't receive any money from the federal government for ranching, and it has not requested for land." The governor's aide noted that the state was open to investors who wanted to invest in ranching in the state. The Zamfara state government said it was in support of ranching and willing to provide land. Let's go to why do you think the federal government is so interested in personal business? And I'd give you an instance. Now, rearing of cattle, say poultry business, piggery, whatever, people now rear snails and the likes. And these are personal, you invest in your business, you make your profit, you make your sales. If possible, you pay your tax. Do these people even pay, anything to the government?
Nothing.
If the government states get donation for them, are they going to be paying something to the state on their sales? Is this going to also boost the economy of each of the states where this come from. Let's look at it from that perspective.
Before we look at it from that angle, I want to go down memory lane. Why do we have educationally disadvantaged states where a child will score 300, another child will score 80, and the child that scored 80 will be admitted, and the child that scored 300 will not be admitted? These are the genesis of a sense of entitlement. In a country that knows where it is doing and knows where it is going, that country will create a level playing ground for everybody, no matter who you are or where you're coming from. There is no child will be denied admission in secondary school or any university because of where it's coming from. But Nigeria practices all this rubbish because some people have been cultured to believe that whatever they demand for from the country is what they will get. Now we are carrying it into and they are speeding it up with killings. Federal government has no business asking states to donate land for ranching. I believe in ranching. Then that is the normal way to go. It's only in Nigeria, 21st century, you see people, even in Abuja, you see cattle moving all over the place. It's the personal business. If you want to invest in a country that knows what it is doing, there must be a law that, look, everybody, you are free to do any business you want to do. Freedom of movement is allowed, yes. But when you come to my place, I will not donate land to government for you to come and do your business. Do you pay tax to the government? What comes to me? Nothing. Simply because you are from such and such a place, I should not donate my land for you to come and do your business. That is pure nonsense, as far as I'm concerned. Because Nigeria has failed to protect its citizens, that's why all this appeasement is going on. To me, it's an appeasement. You have created Ministry of Livestock. Is it not enough? Buhari said the Southeast is a dot in the circle, which means they are landlocked. And Soludo is speeding up to go and donate land. I want to see how he's going to do it. I want to see what he will do. I want to see how the people will take him. Are you listening to me? So if you want to do business, you go and buy land. That's the normal thing to do. You buy land, you fence the place, you build whatever you want to build because it belongs to you, not government giving you on a platter of gold. And now you are trading cattle because you've killed some people. So this is what it's wrong. This is Ruga again rearing up his head because we have Nigeria. Because of our psychopathic inability to feel someone else's pain. Imagine what has taken place in the Benue. You go to Benue now and tell them to bring land, donate your land so that we'll build ranch. The same people you told us they are not Nigerians will come there and bring their animal. What's the meaning of all this? We have enough to deal with. Nigeria government must deal with these people and tell them that, look, enough is enough. You massacre 200 people, you kill people as you like in the name of their business. The country must come after you and deal with you. Now, we hear that a lot of people have been arrested and nobody has been brought for prosecution. So what are we saying? It's a personal business. If you ask to donate for ranching, are you going to ask to donate for those who are in fishery? Are you going to ask for those who are in poultry business? That is the thing I'm saying. You understand? Because government has failed woefully to defend Nigerians. Because somebody is killing. Kill the person. Arrest him and deal with him. Let justice take its toll on that person. This sense of appeasement, that is why it's fueling this thing. All the states in the north, they have land mass. Let them give ranching over there. So when you do your cattle business, you bring it in trailer to people that's the way it is done. Must we give you land because we kill somebody?
I want us to listen to this voice, and when we come back after that, I'll reel out the studio lines again for you to join the conversation.
We do have grave concern about the misinformation and misrepresentation of the security crisis in Benue State. Your Excellencies, it is not herder farmers clashes. It's not communal clashes. It's not repressor attacks or skirmishes. It is this misinformation that has led to suggestions such as remain tolerant, negotiate for peace, learn to live with your neighbors. What we are dealing with here in Benue is a calculated, well-planned, full-scale genocidal invasion and land-grabbing campaign by header terrorists and bandits, which has been on for decades and is worsening every year. Wrong diagnosis will always lead to wrong treatment. So we are dealing with something far more sinister than we think about. It's not learning to live with your neighbors. It is dealing with a war.
All right, let's take it from there. That's the voice of Professor James Ayese there, saying and speaking to the president when when he visited, explaining that what they are dealing with is land grabbing. It's not something that has to do with tolerance. The president said something about living together,
live with your neighbor,
and then he described these people as terrorists, headers, or bandits. And going by your analysis this morning, if this ranches eventually come to be, are we not going to be opening our doors?
That's what I'm saying. It will be
more trouble going by his own
statement. It will be a staging post. It will be you have already brought a cantonment of headers into your community. Who will if they don't look? That's why I asked that question. Have you ever had other ethnic groups or nationalities known for some business? Okay, if you go to riverine areas, they are all fishermen and women. Do they go to other places and begin to cause mayhem?
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Your name and where you are calling us from?
This is Aderonke from
Aderonke from Muslim. Good morning to you.
Yeah. Concerning the ranching of it, so I think it's a good one coming from the federal government and negotiating with the state. At least there will be the reduction in killings. I remember that here in Oyo State government, I think they made an anti-grazing law for all these Fulani herdsmen. So I think that's a good one. This has even reduced the killings of farmers in Oyo State. Yeah. So the move by the federal government is a good one on the ranching anti-grazing law of 18. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your perspective this morning. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Good morning, Sulaiman Sharif.
Good morning,
about the ranching issue, if they are some states, if they want to prefer to set up some ranches, that's good for them. But to end this pastoral crisis, I think some states, even like Oyo State, we have anti-open doors law. And it's, from what I read in this year alone, I think the Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority, they are working with the Amateku, that if there is pastoral crisis, if their farmers contact them, they make sure that some cattle they arrested and they impose fine on maybe some cattle rearers. I think it's a good one. But all those farmers, they must have the direct contact of Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Agency to end this pastoral crisis. Because if they are able to work hand in hand, it will solve it. But the major problem is that anytime the Amateku arrest those cattle rearers and refer them to police, they said it's the state law. It's not in our constitution. That's the major problem we have. If you have state police, this institution, it will work perfectly for those states that they have anti-grazing law in their state. That's my own submission.
Thank you so much, Sharif from Onara. Thank you for your call this morning. 0916-893-1000, 0915-334-893, and also 0911-333-893. Share your thought with us this morning as regards this, states embracing the ranching plan amidst all the killing that we're getting in the nation. Chukwemeka, you still want to weigh in, or we move to the next
No. We are still saying the same thing. Nobody is against ranching, but it must not be at the expense of the state. People who want to do ranching, they have the money to let them buy land.
Chukwemeka, let's look at this from this perspective. This is Nigeria, and by God's grace, as a nation, we're pushing for peace and togetherness as a nation. If we realize that our brothers up north, or our Fulani brothers, that this, cattle rearing is their, cultural thing of family or generational business, so to say, and we see that, header terrorists are getting in their midst to corrupt or perpetrate evil, how about then creating a ranch where we can control and ensure that this do not happen further? I'll come to that after this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Yes, good morning to you. That's High Ranking Tony, I believe.
Good morning, Ayo.
Yes, good morning. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, you see, it's only the political way to do it right. In Brazil, the population of cattle is more than the population of the whole Nigeria. Brazil has the largest population of cattle, about 250 head. And every single head of cow is behind the bar, is behind the wire. And they are right. You can't have a free range cattle. We only have about 20 million cattle in Nigeria. And we cannot keep them behind the bar. It's only because we are saying that it is cultural way of living. Things are evolving and we are not willing to change. Ranching is good, but will they do it? Because people don't want, those who are keeping the cow, they don't want to spend the money. They just want to eat free food. Because ranching initially is capital involvement. But you can even fatten your cat in 1 year instead of roaming about the bush for 2 or 3 years looking for another man's feed stock to feed your cattle. Where will the political way? If you want to farm and ranch, like Emeka is saying, there, buy your land and fence it and put your cattle there. It's even more profitable in the long run. But because some people, those who even own this cattle are not even the small Fulani that's following the cattle. They are the big guys in Abuja because where are they having the AK-47? A single AK-47 now is very close to $1 million. Will a Fulani following camp be able to buy that? The people should do their business. If I want to keep pig now, will I go to somewhere and say, give me land to raise my pig? Let them do the right thing. Good morning, West.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Tony. Chukwemeka, I'll let you,
Okay. So what we still falls back, it is their business. The North has enormous land. If you have been there, a stretch of land. You want ranching, that is even where it will even be.
I wanted to go to the question I asked before. What's
the question?
And that's because our Fulani brothers, we said, over the times we've seen that this is what they love. It's a generational thing for them to rear cattle. And we've seen header terrorists get in their midst and perpetrate evil, just like issues we're seeing in Benue. Do you see this ranching as a way to, yes, embrace them as a people, and then security measures can then be put in place that header terrorists do not get in their midst?
Fine. You don't embrace them at the expense of giving out your land. They have Mietiala. They have organizations that can fish out those. We don't know them. They have organization. They are the ones who will determine who are real headers and who is not even a header. Who is perpetrating this evil using our name? That should be their concern. Because everywhere you go in Nigeria, even the Okada guys, once you meet them and say, "Are you a Fulani?" Immediately they say, "Oh, no," because these people have really tarnished. Look, I grew up in a farm, and that time where my father was a farmer, these people will come, and you will never hear that they graze on somebody's land. You never. I didn't hear it. That's Nigerian Fulani people. But these people now came in because we invited them. Remember the governor of this man. Bola Mohammed, he said all the Fulanis in West Africa should come to Nigeria. Remember what Buhari said? If you come to Nigeria, just come in. And they came in. And these people came in and they have this mindset of this expansionist idea that anywhere we step in, we take over. You don't do that. So it is not that ranching is the best practices in the whole world. But the issue is this. You don't do it at the expense of the people that own the land. Federal government should not dabble into it. Federal government should be able to arrest people who murder people in the name of cattle rearing. That's what I'm saying.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Yes, good morning to you.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. Can you? Okay, good morning, West Radio.
Yes, good morning. Yes,
good
that's
morning.
Mr. Salami.
Well, for me, thank you very much. God bless you.
All right.
Well, for me, there's nothing wrong with ranching, whether it will be well managed and practiced with sophistication. However, in the case of Nigeria, it will not work. These people, these popular people, in fact, our government at the federal level, they're just trying to see how they can acquire land for people to settle down. That's because at the end of the day, they're not going to just to do their cattle there. Before you know it, they'll start migrating to those places where they have been given land. And I'm just surprised that Lagos State, I'm not surprised at Lagos State because Lagos State, the whole of Lagos is owned by Asiwaju. And probably if that is what will make him to appease the North for a second time, he will do it. But for a place like Ondo State and what I don't know. Because even before now, they've been terrorizing them. And now they're giving them, in fact, they're now officially inviting them to come and settle down in their something. I just hope that Governor Shemakinde will please not toe the line of Ondo State for your state now. Because we know what people are capable of doing. They are coming to destroy, to settle down, in fact, so that your state will be at their reach anytime. They will not keep their something where they are. They will just settle down there and start bringing more. In fact, before you know it, if 10 Fulani, initially coming, before the end of that year, there will be more than 400,000. They'll start investing themselves. We say no to such ranching. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami, for your
Mr. Salami has summarized it all.
Perspective.
You understand? Nobody is against ranching, but the issue is that you buy land. If you want to buy land, go to a Imo State as a header. I want to buy land. You look for the owner of the land. You don't go with AK-47, enter one bush.
Let's look at Oyo State. We have anti-open grazing law in Oyo State, but can we say that law is even effective?
It's not effective.
Because
you know why?
We still see cattle.
It's not effective
around.
because these people have entrenched entertainment sense of entitlement. They have it that nobody will arrest them and take them to. I told you of a friend I have. They took their cattle to his rice farm, ate up everything. When they went to police, the woman is dead now. Took millions. Police was asking them to pay the woman 60,000. Imagine. Because they believe that every is under that whatever they say is what they want. It's not done. They must be taught a lesson that Nigeria does not belong only to you. It belongs to all of us. It belongs to everybody. And that's why I keep saying, create a level playing field for everybody. If I want to go into cattle business, I will not go into any bush and I will not write application to government to give me land. I will go and look for land to buy. Why am I not qualified as an Igbo man to be given a land by federal government to do my ranching? Why must I go to government? Why can't I go and do it by myself?
Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, high-ranking AY. God bless you.
Good morning, Benga Mario. Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir, Mr. Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Benga.
Yeah, on the issue of ranching, my take is this, and going to be very simple. Now, regionalism will solve this problem. I'm telling you. Regionalism will solve it in such a way that when you are in your own region, you can practice whichever business you want to do. You can practice whichever occupation you want to do. If you want to go on rearing animals, then of course you are going to get your land, and you will do that in your own region. So if everybody is on his own region, there is a saying in Yoruba that says, "Day your day, make I day my day." Everybody will be on their own lane, and nobody will be trespassing into another person's region. Because trespassing from a region to another region, you know what the implication will be. So regionalism is going to solve the issue of this ranching and whatever we are talking about. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Ayo, before we draw a curtain on this, cocoa farmers, will they go to federal government and say, give us land for cocoa farming? And federal government will be telling states, donate land for cocoa farming. What is the meaning of all this? That's a sense of entitlement issue. And the government must deal with killer herdsmen. That's where I stand. Deal with them and let them understand that, look, you are not a law. You are not above the law.
You're not above the law. Let's go to Facebook very quickly. Sulaiman Sheriff says, good morning and kudos to everyone in the studio. To reduce the pastoral crisis in Oyo State, the best way is to all farmers have direct contact of the Oyo State Rule of Law Enforcement Authority and report any issue of cattle invasion on their farms. I must commend the Oyo State government for setting up their agency to strengthen our institution that will promote peace between the farmer and cattle rearers. Anthony Dedokun says, good morning to you, sir. Chukwemeka, I wanted to touch on this one very quickly. Senate to begin a 2-day public hearing on constitution review on the 4th of July. Oh my, there's a call here. Let's take this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chukwemeka.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
I really enjoy your analysis. And you are so much passionate about this moment. But unfortunately, our leaders are not. Now, Soldo has embraced the ranch. Soldo has embraced the ranch. There's fire of the month for the southeast and southwest. Lagos State is the commercial capital of Nigeria. Anambra is key to the southeast. Why should this government bring this sort of nonsense? There's fire of the month. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, sir, for your view. In a landmark move to reform the Constitution, the Senate has announced that it will hold simultaneous public hearing across the geopolitical zones from the 4th to the 5th of July. The announcement was made by Ismaila Mudashir, the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the Deputy Senate President of the Constitution Review. And according to the statement, hearing will take place from the southwest to the southeast, south, north, central, and the northeast. Some of the things to be discussed: local government autonomy, the Independent Local Government Electoral Commission, state police and security, growing insecurity, two bill proposed to create state police, state security council to decentralize the policing system, I think establishment of some new states, and so many more. The Constitution Review. Look, where do you stand with the review of the Constitution?
There is not our Constitution Review is just an idea, but I stand for a new constitution for Nigeria, people's constitution. You don't keep amending as amended. Let's go back and let the people of Nigeria write their constitution. Because this one, we the people of Nigeria, is a lie. There was never a time we wrote a constitution. Go and listen to what Chief Wole Olanibeku has repeatedly been saying. That you cannot be patching constitution. Demolish it and let's build a new one that will accommodate everybody. All these things we are talking about, donate land for ranching, will be addressed in our constitution. You understand? We didn't write a constitution. The paper we are operating with was not written by us. It was written by some people, and he put our name, is fraudulent, and say we the people of Nigeria, we didn't write constitution. Now you cannot bring what I didn't write and ask me to contribute to amend it. How can I contribute when I was not the thing did not originate from me? It's something that originated from me that I can contribute into. And say, okay, let's change this thing because time is evolving. I didn't contribute, I didn't write it, and you are bringing it to me. I can't do anything about it.
All right, that's all we can take this morning because of our time. We're coming at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Ayo. May God save Nigeria.
Thank you so much. God bless Nigeria. That's all we can take. 7:30 AM Sport will be coming in. And remember, breakfast is the most important, meal of the day. While we take the stories and, exhaust our energy, let's also remember to take breakfast because it is very important. Food will never break your heart. Put a big smile on your face. God bless you. Good morning.